What's up, manga fans? This is Raphael from CE Manga, and welcome back to another review of Akame ga Kill. This month's chapter 57, Kill the Alchemist. Now, this was quite an enjoyable chapter. If anything, I'll say it was very enjoyable, despite it not being, an action-packed chapter like we've had in the past few months. And as I said, that is not a bad thing. It was still enjoyable because it took the time to, stand away from the action and kind of develop characters' feelings, delve into their mind, what they're thinking right now, what they're going to do, in the coming war. And obviously it's doing some nice setup plot devices, such as obviously Tatsumi himself and the little kind of reveal we got at the end of the chapter. Now, speaking of Tatsumi, his situation is revolving around his Incursio power and the after effects of his new, obviously, transformation that we saw in his last battle. And it is indeed, Incursio is merging, I'd say consuming his actual body, and it's kind of left me thinking, is he going to die at the end of the series? Because we've been told in this chapter's flashback that Incursio did save his life from the poison barbs, and it is gradually making him stronger, but it's kind of at a cost. Tatsumi's body is becoming Incursio's vessel. It's more or less eating him, devouring him, so it will be, you might as well say a Tegu itself. So he's been told by the doctor that he can only really use Incursio 3 or 4 more times and then it will kill him. There's no prerequisites for this. He's dead. And this is bad because obviously Incursio has proved to be very effective against Esther and Budo, especially Esther's obviously frost ability. He was unaffected by it, and he's going to be very much needed in this final battle. So either he's going to have to literally only use it 3 or 4 more times, or he's going to have to, as the doctor said, train his body and make him accustomed to the strain of Incursio, and then he might have the possibility of actually being able to live on and probably being able to use it without any chance of death like Bullock used before him. So it's kind of left Tatsumi's fate now up in the air. Like there's two sides on the fence in terms of, you're on the fence with his outcome. Is he going to live or is he going to die? Now that's one thing I want to see, because obviously in the anime they killed him off. Will the manga take a similar route and kill him off? He ends up sacrificing himself and saving everyone, or is he going to live? You never know. But his current psyche, I'd say his personality is quite different now from what we've seen, and this was brought up by Akame, who said he hasn't smiled ever since he came back. And I can imagine this is what Leone said is very valid. The weight of Mind's current state, her being in a comatose state, and Lubbock's death must be weighing on his mind. And then this new revelation of Incursio is eating him, you might as well say, and he could die if he uses it too often. It's kind of put him into, the main depressing emo kind of character moment, where obviously he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and now he's bogged down by the fact that he needs this power to win the final battle, but it could kill him. And then obviously Mind's in a coma, Lubbock's dead, and several other people who've died before that. So it's obviously finally taken its toll. And yeah, it's true what Akame said, he probably won't smile again unless what Leone said, Mind wakes up, and that might bring him back. Speaking of Mind, he actually proposed to her, saying that he wants to marry her at the end of the series. So as I said, it's like literally that might or might not happen, because Akame ga Kill has no plot devices, anyone will die. Now Esther, she had quite an interesting development in this chapter, and this is concerning her relationship, or lack of it, with Tatsumi, and her feelings towards him and what's going to happen in the upcoming battle. And Wave and Kurome actually questioned her if she still loves Tatsumi. Will she be able to fight him when they meet? Because obviously they were confirming that, did you know Tatsumi's part of Night Raid? She's like, yes, positions haven't changed, my feelings are the same, but the next time I see him, I'm basically going to obliterate him with my absolute complete power. I'm going all out, 100%, no holdbacks. And this is kind of amazing, because before she was holding back, she had these, kawaii, you might as well say, approach to Tatsumi all the time she saw him, and then all she wanted to do was kidnap him. But now she's kind of changed her tune and said, I'm going to fight him to the death. and the scenario that would make her happy is either she kills him or he kills her, and she'd be satisfied with this. And furthermore, relating to the anime, Esther did hint at the Imperial arms, which I think is used by the government. I can't remember if it was the prince or whatever, and it was cleverly shown off screen, and it seemed like it was something massive, capable of reducing the revolutionary army to, you know, a smaller amount, completely wiping out their numbers. This is what Esther says it is. So now I'm sitting there thinking, please don't be the Gundam like Tegu we saw in the anime. I hope the manga does something different, like what they did for Tatsumi's upgrade for Incursio. I hope it is not some massive thing that just stands there firing lasers, but we'll wait and see what that's about. And yeah, the last bit of the chapter was quite interesting. The Alchemist girl has been doing quite a bit of experimenting off of the scenes, and she's turned that Cosmina girl, you know, the kind of rapist girl that was a part of Wild Hunt, but she went into a comatose state where her body was fine but her mind was gone. She seems to have been turned into what looks like a danger beast, and apparently she gains strength from continuously eating, and if she continues to eat, her power could actually make her capable of being stronger than a supreme Imperial arms. So that's kind of left that new threat added to, you know, the whole story. This Cosmina demands as a danger beast, unquote, quote unquote, is capable of being on par or stronger than the supreme Imperial arm. So that's like another thing to worry about. You got Esther, now you got that thing, and it was mentioned earlier by Tatsumi that they might have something, you know, to counter the revolution army, because he was like, at this point we should be confident that we're gonna win, but he doesn't believe that the prime minister or minister, sorry, and Esther would just take this line down. They obviously got some sort of backup plan, and I'm starting to think maybe this is what it is, this Cosmia experimentation. So it's gonna be interesting to see how strong this beast is and what it's capable of, and what it particularly eats. Does it eat humans, other danger beasts, or does it just eat Tegus or anything in general? I want to see how strong this thing's going to become. And as I said, there's so much obviously being set up for what's going to happen next month. One little thing I want to talk about is there was quite a bit of love in this chapter. Platonic or romantic, whatever way you look at it, the feelings were there between quite a few people. We obviously saw Tatsumi proposing to a comatose mind, Esther with her obviously her feelings towards Tatsumi, but the fact that she's going to fight him to the death. I think even Negenda had some sort of emotional lamenting over Lubbock's death. She even was seen keeping his kind of goggle-like things and saying she'll keep this with her, and it's like she never gets used to, obviously, you know, losing someone, and she kind of claimed that they were always together, so maybe she had romantic feelings for him as well. And then, as I said, Wave and Kurome, they seem to be having some sort of romantic feelings for each other. So, you know, it's like you got the obviously all the gruery, dreary, depressing stuff, and then you got things like this that kind of lighten up the chapter. So it makes you think could be depressing scenarios, like where all these somewhat parents, except for Negenda because Lubbock's already dead, these parents could all end up, you know, not being parents, and these people lose each other as well. So this is how bad Akame ga Kill is with its characters. Anyone will die and the scenario will just get depressing. So let's see what next month's chapter will bring us. Definitely enjoyed this one, can't wait to see what will happen next. So you guys know the usual, if you enjoyed this chapter, let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care.